Go.
Hello, Com 181 class. I'm Carter Dunn, and this is my fourth speech. For this speech, I'm going to be talking about the separation of church and state and the importance of it. Imagine living in a place where the government tells you exactly what to believe, what church to go to, what prayers to say, and if you don't go along with it, you could get fined, punished, or treated like you don't belong. That actually used to happen a lot. That's why the idea of separation of church and state became such a huge deal in the United States. Today I'm going to explain where the idea came from, what it actually means, and why it still matters even for people our age. Here's where the idea started. Separation of church and state has been an issue for centuries. I just visited Nuremberg, Germany, where the residents of the city in the 1500s were primarily Protestant. But the emperor was Catholic, so the citizens were worried that a Catholic emperor would not waste resources to protect their Protestant city. So they spent millions building a fortress to protect themselves, and this is just one example. Even though people talk about separation of church and state all the time, that exact phrase isn't in the Constitution. It actually comes from a letter written in 1802 by Thomas Jefferson. A group of Baptists in Connecticut were worried that the government might mess with their religious freedom, and Jefferson told them that the First Amendment built a wall of separation between church and state. Basically, the government stays in its lane and religion stays in its lane. But this idea didn't appear out of nowhere. A lot of the first colonists came here because they were tired of being punished in Europe and not belonging to the right religion in England. In some American colonies, you could be forced to pay taxes to a church you didn't believe in or be punished for skipping a church service. So when the Founding Fathers were writing the Constitution, they said, yeah, let's not do that. That led to the First Amendment, which says the government can't establish a religion and can't interfere with your personal beliefs. A lot of people get this wrong, so here's the simple version. Separation of church and state does not mean that you can't bring your religion into your own life. It does not mean religion is banned from public spaces. It doesn't mean you can't pray, talk about your beliefs, or carry a Bible to school. It just means the government can't force religious stuff on people or favor one religion over another. Here's what that looks like. There's no official government religion. The U.S. can't say everyone must be Christian or only people from one religion can run for office. Number 2, there's no forcing religion on any people. Schools can't make students pray. The government can't require religious tests for any job. Basically, you can't be pressured by the government into believing something. And everyone gets to choose. You can be Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, or anything else, and you're still equal under the law. It's basically America saying, you do you, believe what you want, just don't let the government pressure you into anything. So why does this actually matter? So why should anyone, especially teenagers, care about this? It protects people who are different. Imagine being the only person in your school who has your religion, and then imagine the government saying your religion is less important. That would feel awful. The separation rule helps make sure that never happens. Number 2, it keeps the government out of your personal beliefs. No one wants the government telling them what to think or how to pray. Separation makes sure your beliefs stay yours, not the government's. It helps avoid drama and conflict. History shows that mixing religion and government often leads to major fights, even wars. Keeping them separate helps keep society more peaceful. It gives everyone a fair shot. If you don't want to belong to a certain religion to vote, run for office, or be seen as a real American, we all get equal rights. Even if you don't care about religion at all, the rule still protects your freedom to believe or not believe whatever you want. People still argue about this idea because it affects things like prayer in public schools, religious symbols on government buildings, holiday displays, and government funding for religious organizations. The debates get complicated, but they all come back to the same question. Is the government staying neutral? If yes, it's probably okay. If no, they're probably crossing the line. The goal isn't to erase religion, it's to make sure the government isn't picking sides. So to wrap this up, the idea started with the First Amendment and Thomas Jefferson's wall metaphor. It means the government can't push religion on anyone or punish anyone for their beliefs. It protects minority religions and keeps the government from controlling faith and helps keep society equal and peaceful. And it's still important because America is insanely diverse and everyone deserves to feel safe and respected. Separation of church and state isn't always about being anti-religion, but it's about making sure belief is always a choice, not a requirement. And honestly, in a country with so many different viewpoints, that's one of the smartest ideas the founders ever came up with. I hope you've learned a lot from this video and it really made you think about your opinion on the subject.